Ah, Britain, Britain, Britain. Shopkeeper is stunned when police tell him to change sign calling shoplifters scumbags because it might be offensive. And we can't be offending shoplifters now, can we? Those people that just steal stuff that isn't theirs. Basically exploiting other people's labour because they think they have a right to it. They think they have a right to other people's property, so they steal it. You're not allowed to call thieves scumbags. Not allowed to call it. You can totally start an entire grooming gang and all that. Yeah, that's fine. But you can't call shoplifters scumbags. The police won't arrest the shoplifters, but they'll definitely have a word with the owner after he calls them scumbags. My nation is an absolute joke. A shopkeeper has been left stunned after police told him to change his sign calling shoplifters scumbags because it may be offensive. Rob Davies, 61, who runs the Run Ragged Vintage Shop in Wrexham, North Wales, installed the notice to tell shoppers some cabinets were locked against theft. Vintage shops I know all too well. My girlfriend drags me into them all the time. Constantly. But I take her to them as well. Right, she likes it. She dresses. I don't know if you've seen pictures of her, but she dresses in a lot of vintage gear and all that. I like the way she dresses. I think it's really cute. But the problem is most of the stuff doesn't fit her because she's 4 foot fuck off. But anyway, she watches these videos and she likes it when I make fun of her. Yeah, she loves it. The hardworking retailer put it up after he caught 5 thieves red-handed in the last 12 months alone and lost roughly £200 of stock to shoplifting. There's a place... I actually saw a really sad, tragic situation. I'm not going to... I was going to say I'm not going to dox the office. It's fucking listed in Company's House. I got doxed ages ago, but who cares? There's a business nearby, and I was walking back to the office, and I saw 2 wee Neds. I haven't seen Neds in a long time. You very rarely spot them now, but Neds used to be a huge thing. But 2 wee Neds came running out the shop. They looked like they were about 12 or 13 or something like that, and the owner just came flying right out behind them. Right now, one of them got away and abandoned his homeboy, poor show, right? But the other got grabbed, and the guy pulled him back into the shop. He didn't hurt him because he's just a wee boy, and the guy was like, why you steal from me? Why you steal from me? And he says, if you're hungry or you needed something, I would have given it to you. And the wee guy just sat there with his head hanging, and he goes, do you need money? And he goes, is everything okay at home? He goes, how old are you? Why are you out here in the town centre stealing? What is it you need? And he goes, do you not have food at home? And then he sat the boy down and he was like, what's wrong? Talk to me. And that kind of hit me. And I could tell just by looking at this wee boy, he doesn't come from a good household. I could tell that, and that made me really, really sad. But he sat the boy down and talked to him, and even after they let him go, the boy just sat there and actually had a chat with him. I don't think I had to leave, but I don't think he called the police or anything like that. But it was a shame. That was a real shame. But anyway, he felt the police did little to help. How about that? When he reported the 5 thefts. So he gave up doing so, instead taking matters into his own hands to protect his small business. His handmade note reads, due to Scumbags shoplifting, please ask for assistance to open cabinet. But to his surprise, after months of frustration with the police, officers turned up to the shop, though only to tell him to remove the sign. So basically, when it came to actual shoplifters committing actual crimes, the police didn't do anything about it. However, when some little arsehole some leftist probably got really offended and upset, that sign makes me feel sad, the police were there right away. It's a fucking joke, man. He was told a member of the public, I of course, had reported it to the force as it could be seen as provocative and offensive. Mr. Davey said, I just wonder if that person was a shoplifter who was offended as it was detrimental to their work. I believe so, probably. Yeah, this guy owns a vintage shop. Yeah, sorry. Due to Scumbags shoplifting, please ask for assistance to open the cabinet. Thank you. There is nothing wrong with that whatsoever, and also it's his protected freedom of speech. It's his protected freedom of speech, and I would find it very, very hard to find anyone who disagreed with. The only people that are going to disagree with that is shoplifters. The guy's right. The shopkeeper added, the officers advised me to reword them, but he was determined this would not happen. Good. He said you couldn't make it up. Well, guys, if you know me, you will know I don't mean to cause offence, but in this case, please feel free to be offended and stop frequenting my shop. You are no loss. Nice. Double down. Never apologise. Good, he is doing the right thing. Mr. Davies added, it apparently caused offence to someone. The only people it should be causing offence to are the shoplifters, which is for a fact correct. One person whinges about a sign and the police turn up and ask if I can take the signs down. I have a legitimate reason to complain to the police due to thieving. They don't turn up. He explained the police came out to the first theft he reported, handed me back the shirt the guy had stolen, and told him to get on his way. Yep, they do that. I did with my whenever I was doing security, like I did the doors and I also did a lot of the building sites and wind farms and stuff like that. See the big massive project down at Lesmahago where they were building all the wind farms everywhere and they had the big central substation. That's what I was guarding back then. And I took those contracts because it's 12 hours sitting in a cabin fucking watching movies, mate. See every single stereotype of the big security guard like lying there watching movies. Yeah. That's my fucking easiest job in the world. But then you do the doors so that you can get like your 20, 25 quid an hour and stuff like that, and that supplements your wage. Yeah. So that's very, very true. But I did a temporary contract. I did a temporary contract at an insane asylum, which was illuminating. But I also did a temporary contract doing retail. I always said I'm not doing retail, not doing retail. I'm not, please. Fine. 3 months, that's it. And during that, the police don't do shit. The police do not do fucking shit about that, about shoplifters. They do not care. They don't do shit about it. As soon as that 3 months was over, I was like to my boss, never doing that again. Do not fucking ask me. But still, yeah, he's right. The police don't do fucking shit about shoplifting. They don't. The other time, literally outside the shop that I play cards in, a junkie walked past me with a pair of freshly stolen jeans. That happens. You're going to get junkies approaching in the streets a lot in Glasgow. And he went, "Are you a 30 waist, mate?" Do I fucking look like a 30 waist? Which is what I said to him, and I laughed, and he went, "Do you know anybody that's a 30 waist?" And I was like, "No, mate, move." He just kept walking, holding this pair of jeans with the tag still on them that he's clearly just stolen. Like, you'll get that a lot, by the way. Also, there's a story. Here's another story. I've got so many stories about thieving junkies. Like, we've had junkies try and break into here twice. One time when we were still in. I've got the footage if people don't believe me. I'll post it maybe somewhere. But basically, we had a junkie just open the door. And this was when Elden Ring Night Rain had just came out. So we were all here after hours. And the junkie just stood there frozen in the headlights. Because he didn't expect us to be in. And fucking my editor went, "You alright, pal? What's fucking happening?" And the guy went, "I'm lost." And I'm on right, and we chased him out the fucking building. And then we did call the police, and the police caught him, because right after he tried to steal for here, he tried to steal for the Tesco just down the fucking road, and he got caught in there. And it's just that Glasgow city centre's a fucking joke. But anyway, and this place sounds like it's not any fucking better. The other story, the junkie that tried to sell his perfume. This was in the alleyway right next to the studio. A junkie came up to us, I swear to God, right? I'm so glad there was so many people here to witness this because nobody would believe this story. We were all outside having a fag, right? And this junkie comes up to us and goes, "You want to buy any perfume for your birds, mate?" And it's like, fucking, clearly he's just stolen this. And we went, "Oh, mate, we were just taking the piss a little, going, oh, we've not got birds, mate." "Nae birds." "Yous have got nae birds." And we were like, "No birds, mate." "Nae birds." And we were like, "No birds, mate." "If any's got a fag?" And we were like, "Nah, sorry, no fags, mate." And he went, "Sorry, I've got one." And pulled a cigarette out for fucking nowhere and sparked it. And we were just like looking at him like, what the fuck? And then the junkie goes, "Anyway, enjoy your day, boys." And turned around to walk away. And I shit you not, I'm going to get the people that were present there to post in the comments. This genuinely did happen. He turned around, the back of his trousers were gone. It was just the front. He had like trousers. There was just a huge hole where his arse was, and he wasn't even wearing fucking underwear. And just walked away with his arse on full display. And we were just like, his fucking arse is hanging out. And he just walked away down the street, trying to sell stolen perfume to people with his whole arse just hanging out the back of his the back of his trousers were missing. Maybe he's a 30 waist. I should have hooked him up with the other junkie, but I promise you, that's a genuine thing that you will experience in the town centre of Glasgow. Anyway, let's get back into the fucking article. But where was I? I've got so many stories about fucking junkies, man. You get approached by them all the fucking time in Glasgow. Where was I? In contrast, he said, it seems like the big names like Tesco and the Co-op are the ones prolific shoplifters are being banned from. The shopkeeper has spent the last 5 years running the quirky shop that sells vintage clothing and accessories. This is my livelihood, he said, adding, every penny counts for me. He continued, when people are stealing your safety net, what are you supposed to do? It's compounded with the cost of living, the business rates, and everything else. Business rates are the most bullshit tax ever. Like, see how council tax, they say, oh, that's your bin pickup and that's this and that and everything. You don't get much, but you at least get something for it. Business rates are literally just so you can exist in a premises. That's it. You're paying for a license so that your business can have premises. You get nothing from business rates, and one of the main things that stops so many businesses from opening is the business rates. Like, oh, that's a great little place for my family bakery. Oh, it'll cost me like $6,000 a year just to exist in there on top of paying all the rent and tax and fucking everything else. No, business rates are a scam. All tax is a scam, but business rates are the biggest scam. You literally don't get anything for it. Domestic electricity bills are a totally different price to commercial. Commercial is nearly double. That's true. When you're not getting back up by the authorities, you're paying for, it's really difficult. But Mr. Davies said the community has come together to support his drive to keep the signs up. In fact, a fellow shopkeeper gave him another sign reading, if you find anything offensive here, please let us know so we can have a good laugh. Excellent. That is the exact type of attitude to have. Mr. Davies said, it means a lot and restored my faith that there is that sense of community. He was mostly amused by the bizarre incident. Now, back in the real world, I hope this makes you smile. It did me. And commenters on a Facebook post he made about it found it just as funny. Spare a tiny violin for those of us who who have their pearls well and truly clutched. Wah, wah, wah. Another wrote, geez, that's hilarious. I think the complainer needs to find something else to do with their time. I know of some drying paint that needs to be watched. Someone else said, this is quite mild if you ask me. Well, one added, make the signs bigger, support you totally. That's what I would do. I'll make the signs bigger. Professionally done. I would hire a calligrapher like to come in and just make it, just the whole front window. The whole front window. Rename the shop Shoplifters or Scumbags. Before opening his store, the shopkeeper worked as a weapons expert, helping on the fight scenes for Hollywood blockbusters like Gladiator and Braveheart. That's pretty cool, actually. Wrexham City District Inspector Rodri Ifans told the Daily Mail, all incidents of retail crime, no matter how big, should be reported to police at the earliest opportunity to enable us to effectively respond to any offences so that they can then just not. All reports of shoplifting are taken extremely seriously. As someone who only did retail security for 3 months, that's a fucking lie. And we are committed to combating retail theft in the city. Each day, my officers go above and beyond to identify risky individuals and locations to prevent further incidents of shoplifting. A dedicated team of officers in Wrexham have consistently maintained the highest detection rate for shoplifting offences within the force over the past 2 years, which is a credit to their commitment to protect local retailers and pursue repeat offenders. Over the last 12 months alone, a total of 14 individuals who repeatedly committed shoplifting offences within the city have been subjected to a community behaviour order through the court, preventing them from entering the city centre. In addition to this, several civil restraining orders have also been issued to repeat offenders locally. While robust action is taken against those who shoplift, good thing those criminals are great at, obeying the fucking law. You're not allowed to go into the city centre. Oh, don't worry, that's great. I always follow rules. Fucking shut up. We always look to take a proactive approach, initially to signposting and supporting those struggling with alcohol or substance misuse to try and disrupt or negate repeat offending. Protecting staff, businesses and their customers from this type of criminality, which has created a significant impact on their well-being and business, is a priority in Wrexham City. Small businesses are struggling. They are struggling really, really hard, and all the shoplifting on top of it where the police don't turn up is just making it even worse. It's why all you see is franchise chains everywhere, because the little guy can't afford his shop anymore because he's paying exorbitant taxes, exorbitant fucking bills, exorbitant fucking everything, and then on top of that he has a massive bill that he has to pay to the government just to fucking exist.